Fingers crossed.
So in 2009, you entered college.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I started at University of San Francisco. USF says about its own school, here you are challenged to reach higher standards and to use your education to promote justice and serve the common good. So your major is performing arts and with a minor of social justice, right?
It's combined major.
It's a combined major. And
We can call it PASJ, P-A-S-J.
PASJ.
PASJ. It's just a way faster way to refer to it. I got here and loved it because I got into the first show I auditioned to, just like in high school. And I didn't really get what PASJ was about. I was like, okay, like performing arts, I get that. Social justice, okay, like we do plays that are socially relevant and aren't mainstream. That's why I thought it was like, okay, this must be like experimental, like against the grain kind of plays and subject matter, which is true. So we did The Learned Ladies by Moliere my first semester here. So that's a classic play. And I had a very small part, but I was in that, and it was about educating women and the danger of educating women. So that was the social justice spin on that. And at the time, like, I got it. I understood that was what was up, but not too deeply, you know. And then I took classes and my major classes and stuff, and slowly, really slowly through the 4 years, it's kind of been baking in my mind, what does this major mean? And now I'm a senior about to graduate, and I'm really just now getting a grip on what they've been trying to teach me this whole time. Awkward Silence is University of San Francisco's only comedy improv team that is entirely student run. It is not affiliated with the performing arts department at all. I think it used to be way back, because the kids that started it were performing arts kids. But we've never been a funded club or a funded organization on campus. We, for approximately 13 years, have been entirely student run. Yeah, totally underground, squatting in classrooms for practice and shows. Totally it's a little harsh to say, but totally unsupported by the university. We're just people that getting together to do it. We are supported emotionally by the university. Lots of people enjoy the shows and come to the shows and help us fundraise, faculty and staff and students included. So not unsupported like that. Awkward Silence, when I first came to USF, I had no idea there was an improv team at the school. And I went to a mandatory majors meeting for the performing arts, and this guy stood up at the end of the meeting and was like, oh, by the way, we're having improv auditions this Saturday, blah, 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 here's the info. And I exploded in my head. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. I just came from comedy sports. I had no idea there was improv here. And I was so excited. And immediately after, I went up to him and was just spilling my guts about all the improv I've ever done. And looked like an idiot, because I was like, I've done comedy sports and I've done it with James Bailey and so I was really talking myself up, and he was like, okay, you know, come to the audition, whatever. So I went to the audition, and I felt really good about it, but I didn't know, I had never really done a student run thing without like an adult there, you know. So I had no idea how it would go, if they would like me or think that I was good or whatever. But I made it. And
how'd you find out?
There's a little tradition in Awkward Silence. You know, you audition, and then they call everyone, whether you make it or not. And they call you, and they say, you know, if you didn't make it, they say, hey, you know, thanks for coming out. You did a great job, but, you know, not this year. Try again next year or whatever. But if you do make it, the existing members on the team screw with you in your head. And they call you, like, so, it changes every year. They're like, you know, what do you think you did well at? And how do you feel it went? And yeah, like, you could have done better. I mean, and they really mess with you, and they're jerks to you. And it's really awkward. And then when it gets to that point of, like, your feelings are getting hurt, they're like, you made it! And everyone yells, you made it! Improv is the one medium of performance that I feel 100% comfortable with. I love doing theater and I love acting in plays, but there are parts of that that are really, really challenging and frightening for me, which are good because they keep me going and they keep me doing it. But improv is the most comfortable, it's pure fun for me. There is not a part of improv performance that doesn't make me feel good. None of it scares me. It's all so fun. And I feel so good when I do it. And and regardless of what I do post-college or in my career or whatever, finding some kind of improv outlet is mandatory for me, because that's what keeps me going in terms of performance in general. And I think that, you know, having a career as an actor is not going to be easy. So if I have some kind of way that I can do improv, that will keep my head above water in terms of how positive I am about choosing this life, you know. So I kind of think of it as like a supplement to my happiness.
Okay, so Lukas Waldron said, I remember the first week of freshman year going to awkward silence auditions, getting a call in the middle of the night telling me I had made the team, and the next day going to my first bonding and realizing that Dana and I would be both bonded and scarred for life. Who is Lukas Waldron?
Lukas Waldron is the co-captain of Awkward Silence with me this year, and both of us made it onto the team when we were freshmen. So on Awkward Silence, it's sort of a thing where if you make the team as a freshman, it's somewhat guaranteed you will be a captain your senior year. So we were the only two freshmen, and so we knew right off the bat, and we're told right off the bat, that we were going to be captains when we were seniors. So we've always had this in the back of our mind that we would run the team someday, and pretty much starting last year we talked about it and thought about how we wanted the team to be, and now we're running it.
So outside of Awkward Silence, what have you guys worked on together?
A lot of stuff. We've done the Campus Movie Festival at USF for 2 years in a row. So last year we did a movie. This year we did a movie. They're short films. They're 5 minutes long. And we've had a lot of good success with that. And also we've done various things for USF TV, which he's a part of. And just, that's kind of it in terms of film. And then Awkward Silence, of course. And then who knows what else? I think Lukas and I work beautifully together because we have a really different approach to leadership in general for Awkward Silence, and he is a filmmaker, and he has like a really cool vision. When he wants to do something, he does it, and I can always kind of intuit what it is he needs from me. So we work pretty well together, and he's really easygoing, which is great because, you know, if he was uptight, that would be kind of hard to work with him. But I've learned a lot about give and take, I guess, from at least Awkward Silence. Because, you know, we have a lot, especially going to Chicago for the national championship, like we have a lot to figure out and stuff like that. So I try not to overbear him, but I do sometimes. But he's good with that. He's flexible.
He works with it.
Hey, Sully.
Are you Kimmy?
I sure am, sweetheart. How you doing?
Nice
Whiskey
to meet you,
sour,
Kimmy.
hold the sour, please.
Social Not Working was written by Lukas Waldron and Vicky Mortati. The whole premise of the film was that Matt, who was the other guy in the film, Matt and I were going on a blind date. We were on an internet dating site, and it was going to go really badly because my character lies about everything she's interested in, completely lies about her personality and whatever, and he's really looking for love again because he's newly divorced, and so he's really like looking for someone to fill that void.
She was really productive. She's a very productive girl. She would make me breakfast in the morning, send me off to work, make lunch for herself, clean the house, fuck her best friend, and then have dinner and the sheets cleaned by the time I got home. And
Oh, God, that's good. Oh, my word.
And I'm just like this bitch who doesn't care at all about him or his feelings, and all I want to do is like get laid and go on dates. And so Kimmy was just like this Jerseyite bitch with way too much makeup on and like a leather jacket and a smoker's hack, you know? So that was really fun for me to play because she was just super over the top. But also there was like a tender moment right at the end of that film. It was only 5 minutes long. A really tender like moment with Matt and I where I felt bad about disappointing him because my character had this whole thing about she's a constant disappointment to the people she's dating on the website. And then we went to the Hollywood Week in this last June. So we participated in the whole like festival or whatever, and our film didn't win beyond that, but we were there and got to go to workshops and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And we're going again this year because we won again. We won for a film called Meeting. And it was kind of funny because when Vicky and I went to the Hollywood Week, the people we met there were a cross between super enthusiastic and like love filmmaking and want to do this for real, and also kind of like film student kids who think they're the shit, you know? So we made a movie called The Meeting, really making fun of those kids who are like dicks about filmmaking. So it was a meeting about making a movie for CMF. But we never named it. We were making a film for a film festival, and all of the people in the meeting are just total stereotypes of the kind of people that do film. So I was Becky, the lighting lesbian, and I was super butch and just like binge eating and drinking beer out of a red vine and shotgunning a beer in the shower, like really disgusting. So that was kind of, we were making fun of everybody else, but we won again. Ha! Yeah, hell yeah. So we won again, and I won Best Actress again, and it was kind of insane because all I did was like shotgun a beer in the shower and cry. But hey, you can call it acting. Yes. And because I have never been the lead in a show, ever. Because it's not my type, and I don't think I understood what type was. You know?
Elaborate on.
They look like a lead, as in they are like the blonde, tall, thin, like heroine, whatever, you know what I mean? And I have totally wanted to be that in like high school and before that. Like I want to be a lead someday. I want to be the lead. And as soon as that's out of your system, I feel like you can really do anything. I'm always going to be that peripheral, like weird character or that loud or funny character because that's my type. I am certain things. I am very loud. I am very funny and boisterous, and I have like a very different kind of energy. I'm not gonna, even in a comedy, you know, I feel like I would be somebody to support on the side, and that's better because, you know, you can see a movie or you can see a show and you don't know who the leads are, but you're like, but that sister or that aunt, you know what I mean? Like you'll remember the person that kind of has less time but way more energy. Yeah. And I would way rather be that.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? I repeat, will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
People that don't know who I am. Robie. And I heard once that women should never do stand-up comedy. But the guy that said that was on his period. But really, I am currently a college student at the University of San Francisco.
Pasadena Ice House. So the Ice House is a really famous comedy club in Southern California. It's always been in Pasadena. There's a main stage and a second stage. So the main stage has seen pretty much everybody in stand-up for like since the 70s or 80s. It's a really well-known thing down south. And the second stage, stage 2, is what they call it. They have an open audition every first Friday or Saturday of the month. Okay, so I went to an open audition. I was the youngest by, I don't know, like a solid 5 or 6 years. I felt really young and inexperienced. And everyone there was like way older than me, had like a lot of stuff prepared. They've been going around like the circuit or whatever and auditioning. So I just was like, okay, you know, I'll give it a shot. And anyway, so I auditioned that first time, and you get notes at the end. This guy that runs it, Dave McNary, he will give everyone notes, constructive. He's a really nice guy, like constructive things, what worked, what didn't work. And then if he likes you, he'll be like, so pick a day. And he has the tickets on the table. So I auditioned that first time, and he was telling me like, you're new at this, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, I really have not done a whole lot. I've done a couple of things in San Francisco. I'm a student. I don't have any experience at all. And he was like, okay, well, you know, this was really funny. And then this was like, I don't know if you worked on that hard enough, and I didn't feel like you knew what you were saying, and so I felt like shit kind of when he was talking to me. And he's like, so pick a day. And I was like, oh shit! Like, really? So I picked a day.
I much prefer to text. So my verbal skills are lacking. But no, I'm not big. I text more than I talk on the phone, which I think is true for quite a few people. Because texting, I'm really good at it. And there are some subliminal texting rules that people don't understand. And let's just clear these up. First of all, excessive punctuation is not necessary. When you put 4 question marks, I'm gonna hear it in a different way. Where are you? What time does it start? Hello? It's too much. All caps? That's frightening. Why are you yelling at me? Are you mad? Is it loud where you are? I could have read that.
I kind of hate stand-up. I do. I'm trying to learn to love it. I'm trying to get more comfortable with it because I feel like it's a good thing to get comfortable with and be able to do, because it showcases me by myself as opposed to like a team effort or like a cast effort. But I really don't, God, it's so hard and it terrifies me to death. I get so nervous. And I just haven't had enough experience to know what works and what doesn't. And it's pretty challenging for me to like figure out who's my audience and who am I writing for, kind of a thing. And the writing itself is really hard for me. I haven't had a whole lot of experience with that. So it's just something I need to get more used to, but right now I kind of hate it. And I haven't done stand-up in a long time.
But do you want to keep doing it? Or?
Yeah, I do. I want to do it because I feel like it's a good thing to get myself used to, and it can only help me creatively.
Yeah. You can. So to start us off, what is your favorite word?
Damn.
What is your least favorite word?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a least favorite word.
Okay.
Probably, oh, you know what? Oh, there's a word that I hate hearing out loud that I have it's going to be hard to say it. I'll say it once. Panties. I hate that word. I hate it. I can't say it. I don't say it.
What turns you on?
What turns me on? The same word. No, what turns me on creatively or sexually?
That's up to you.
Because they can be different. What turns me on is confidence. And that goes for both. Confidence.
What turns you off?
Closed-mindedness.
What sound or noise do you love?
Breathing.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Breaking glass.
What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck, obviously.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I've always thought that if I wasn't going to be an actor, I'd like go to law school. But I know that within my soul, I would be extremely miserable in law school. So I have no idea. I don't have. Maybe a teacher. Maybe a teacher.
What profession would you not like to do?
I could never be in the medical field. Ever.
And last, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, man. I had a dream once when I was 10 years old that I died in a car accident. I kid you not. And I woke up sobbing. I dreamt that I died in a car accident with my mom. And I dreamt that I went to heaven. And I dreamt that once I got to heaven, the very first thing that someone related to me was the first person. I didn't see God, but I saw someone related to me, and they said, "We've been waiting for you." So I guess that's my answer.
And now here are your students.